Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxhorn, and there are dozens upon dozens of random encounters in the game. In an effort to make every single playthrough of Fallout 4 unique, Bethesda created these random encounter hotspots throughout the game. When you reach these hotspots, you have a chance to activate one of these random encounters chosen from a pool of appropriate encounters for that location. Not every hotspot will give you the same encounters, and many of these encounters are level dependent and change based on the decisions you make in the game. For example, completing the Cabot Line House of Quests unlocks 2 new random encounters. Discovering Trader Riley unlocks yet another random encounter. Once you reach a certain level, some random encounters are no longer available, opening up a new list of encounters that you can have access to. Furthermore, there are more random encounters that come with DLCs. Automatron, for example, adds new random encounters to the game, giving you epic fights with Rust Devils and their robots at some of these locations. The nice thing about these random encounter hotspots is once you discover one, you can create a game save just before visiting that hotspot, and then replay the random encounter over and over and over again to see what kind of encounters are available at that hotspot. With this video, I want to show you some of the random encounters available at 2 hotspots in the game at early levels. I'm not showing you every random encounter in the game with this video, although I do eventually hope to get through all of them. This video is Part 1, and in Part 1, we'll go through some of the best random encounters from early on in the game. The character I'm using to shoot this footage is level 4, so you may not get the same experience as me if you try to replicate this with a higher level character. The first hotspot we're going to talk about is west of the Beantown Brewery, right on the shore, across from the water treatment plant. Right next to the water, near some barrels, is a random encounter hotspot. Here's the location on the map. Here you can find some of the most interesting random encounters in the game. You can find an advanced lock safe buried in trash next to a working radio. The safe just has randomized loot appropriate to your level, and there's also a red toolbox buried in here that you can loot. You can find another encounter at the same location similar to this, but this one is a master lock safe sitting on top of the earth. It looks like this was unearthed by a scavenger who wasn't able to pick the lock. You can find a dead Brahmin being feasted upon by blood bugs and bloat flies. Once you get too close, these two stop their feasting and attack. Similar to this one, you can find a dead Brahmin, but when you get too close, you trigger a bunch of landmines. You can find 3 Mirelurk burrows, one of which still has a Mirelurk in it. Once you get too close, the Mirelurk emerges and attacks. If you're really unlucky, there will be 2 here instead of 1. And if you're super duper unlucky, all 3 burrows will be occupied. You can find a huge pile of tires on fire. You can see the sick black smoke from a distance. There's nothing else around here. It's just a big burning pile of tires. I guess Bethesda thought that you needed one more opportunity to kill yourselves out of curiosity. Jumping on the fire will harm you. This one's interesting. As you get close, you see a man crouching down, affixing an explosive to a hatch on the ground.
That should do it. If it's been sealed up since the Great War, there's no telling what might be inside.
Once done, he runs away. After he's gone, you can go to the hatch. You don't actually see an explosive there, but you do have an option to activate the explosive. If you're too close, you can blow yourself up. To get around this, walk as far back as you can so that you can still just barely activate it, but then you can leap backwards as soon as possible. You can activate the explosion and you're still alive. But if you do, the scavenger comes back.
I found it first. Back off. This is mine. That's what you want!
If you step any closer to the hatch, he opens fire, forcing you to kill him. Inside, we find a tiny one-man fallout shelter. On the wall, there's some Vault-Tec propaganda with a knife stabbed through it. And right next to the sign is an old man with a walking cane lying dead in a chair. The propaganda poster says it's never too late. Sign up at your local vault shelter. There's a knife stabbed through the vault boy's head. I guess we can gather from this that the corpse we find here is of a man who tried to get into a Vault-Tec shelter, but was denied for some reason, so he made his own little makeshift shelter using an old trailer that he buried underground. There's not a whole lot of loot in here, but this is a really useful find at early levels because you can use this as a little player home until you can afford enough money to buy home base at Diamond City. Plenty of storage and a bed, if you don't mind sharing it with a skeleton. You can find a derby-wearing bartender named Mac.
A dartboard. That's what I need. But where would I hang it? Another lovely day in the Commonwealth. Bars don't get much cleaner than that. I can see myself in that shine.
Excuse me.
A new customer. Welcome to Mac's Bar. We are currently open for business. Please excuse the mess.
Why start a bar out here?
Ever since I was little, I wanted to own a bar. A place where people could come and relax and tell me their troubles. Problem is, real estate is real hard to come by in most of the major settlements. So I figured, why not start out here, huh?
Dude, nice location.
Thank you kindly. Picked the place myself. Plenty of room for expansion in an up-and-coming neighborhood at an unbeatable price.
What do you have for sale?
A wide and varied supply of spirits and sodas. And maybe a snack or two, if you're feeling peckish.
This must be the smallest bar I've ever seen.
Actually, I used to have a smaller one, up near Quincy, until the gunners run me off. It was about the size of a bar stool. Anyway, what'll it be?
Just browsing for now.
No rush, but I don't want a long line forming, okay?
You're kidding, right?
100% serious. She may not look like much, but when I've got the hottest spot in the Commonwealth, we'll see who's laughing at old Mac. Anyway, what'll it be?
Not interested.
If you say so. But it's a long walk to the next watering hole is all I'm saying.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Pick your poison. How many tables can I have before I need to hire a waitress, I wonder? But if Thursday nights are ladies' nights, then when will we do the bar trivia?
You can find a bright blue, rusted-up Chrysler Corvega sedan. Standing next to it is our old friend Duke from the Atom Cats.
Just the part I was looking for. The guys back at the garage are gonna flip. Nothing else to find here. This hunk of junk is picked clean, Daddy-o.
That's disappointing.
Ain't that a bite? We got lots more back at the garage if you want to trade, though.
I wasn't looking.
Oh, just admire my plates, then. It's a custom job.
You building something?
My friends and I soup up old power armor. We have groovy metal suits like you have never seen. You seem like a cool cat. You should check out our digs. Our machines are something to see, Jack.
Once you meet him, he places the location of the Atom Cats garage on your map. You can then meet him there to learn more about the Atom Cats. I did an entire video on the Atom Cats, which you can watch here. Next, in what is easily the saddest random encounter, you find 3 friends and a preacher burying their pal, Blake.
With this, we commit our friend, Blake, to the earth. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. May he find peace with the Lord. Amen. Would anyone like to say anything before we move on?
Blake was a great guy and an even better friend. He was taken from us too soon, but he won't be forgotten.
Blake, I hope you know how I felt about you, even if I couldn't say it to your face. Now you're gone, and it seems too late. But I love you.
Marcus, do you have anything to say?
This is stupid. People die every day. I don't understand why. Understand? God, why did it have to be him, huh? Why wasn't it me? I'm the asshole of the group. I'm the one had it coming, not him. Not Blake. I'm sorry, guys. I miss him is all.
We all miss him, Marcus.
He was the best of all of us.
Thanks, guys. I'm okay now. Really, I am.
Okay, that's it. There's nothing else we can do now. Time to move on.
After the burial, they just stand there. They don't say anything interesting. You can kill them if you want. Strangely enough, if you attack one, the others remain neutral, allowing you to pick them off one by one if you want. Of course, that would be extremely evil, but you can do it. You can find a dehydrated woman who asks you for water.
Hey there.
Please, I'm so thirsty. Could you spare any water?
What kind of water did you need?
Purified would be wonderful, but anything you have would do.
I don't know.
Please, without water, I could die. Anything you have would help me. Anything at all.
Nope. Sorry.
I see.
Of course. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna rest here a bit more until I get my strength back.
In a similar event, you can find a woman suffering from radiation poisoning who asks you for some Rad-X.
Please, do you have any Rat-Away? I think I may be dying.
Whoa. You think you're dying?
If I don't get help soon, I know I am.
I've seen worse. You don't look like you're dying.
It's just a matter of time. If I can't treat it, it'll only get worse.
Sorry, no.
Didn't think so.
Sure. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. You just saved my life.
You can find more than a dozen highly irradiated barrels. The strange thing about these barrels is that they don't have the paint job of nuclear material disposal barrels. They just look like rusted up barrels, but they are highly irradiated. Similarly, you can also find 3 properly marked highly irradiated barrels being guarded by a very large radroach. You can find a wastelander trying to get into a locked refrigerator.
There's gotta be some way to get this thing open. Jimmy wasn't kidding. Right where he said it would be. Could try to blow it open. Nah, too risky. I found it first. Back off. This is mine. So that's it, huh?
Like the other one with the bunker, if you get too close to this fridge, the scavenger opens fire upon you, forcing you to kill him. The refrigerator just has a novice lock and sadly doesn't have very good loot. You can find a whole bunch of frag mines. You can find an old, rusted-out Vault-Tec van. On the western side of the van, you find the skeleton of a man splayed out. Between his legs is a note. This note is from Ralph Jones, a Vault-Tec manager, to an employee named Mr. Henderson. For some reason in my game, the bottom half of the note is ripped off, but the full text states that this guy was a Vault-Tec sales representative who did not meet his quota. Instead, this guy spent most of his time proselytizing. I guess he was a religious man. He gets rebuked by Vault-Tec and told that he's making other people uncomfortable and that he should focus on his job selling vault spaces instead of proselytizing. Strangely enough, you can find this exact same note on a teacher's desk in the same high school where you find the pink paste. I think that must be a bug because this random encounter causes the note to make much more sense. I guess Bethesda are SNL fans, they just had to have a guy living in his van down by the river. Yeah, I'm getting old. The next random encounter hotspot that we'll cover today is near the Cambridge Polymer Labs. On the road south of the Cambridge Polymer Labs, there's a destroyed billboard lying on the ground. Here's the location on the map. When walking east along the road, just as you pass the billboard, as you approach the upcoming building, a random encounter can trigger. You can find a lone lady named Ness. She's got a job for you.
Hey, sister. You looking to earn some caps?
What's the job?
I've got a lead on a crash site. Big old jet. That much scrap could be worth a lot to the right buyer. Trouble is, some raiders are holed up in it. Help me run them off, and I'll give you a cut of the profit. How about 50 caps? Sound fair?
How many raiders?
Not sure. I stopped counting when they started shooting. Maybe 8 or 10? Now are you in or not?
Dude, come on. Make it worth my time.
Look, there are other mercs out there. You going to take the job or not?
I'm in.
All right. There's a little ridge just south of the crash site. Meet me there, and we'll take them on together.
She then places a new location on your map. You can then travel to the crashed flight to complete the quest. I did an entire video on this in my video on the crashed flights of Fallout 4, which you can watch here. You can be attacked by a scavenger named Scrap Rat and her crew. At level 4, this was quite a tough challenge. It took me a long time and a whole lot of chems to kill Scrap Rat and her entire crew. Once they're dead, you can find a note on the bodies of one of her members. We learned that his name was Bradley. The note is from Scrap Rat. Scrap Rat says that it's a policy of herself and her group to kill any stranger they see. They do this out of necessity. They feel like it makes the entire group safer. That's why they were immediately hostile upon seeing you. You posed a threat in their eyes, and so they decided to simply kill you. Looks like this strategy of hers didn't work out this time. You can find a 200-year-old floating iBot advertising food from before the war.
Feed those dessert cravings with Fancy Lads snack cakes. A big delight in every bite. Nothing says dinner like Blamco mac and cheese. Bring the family together for a dish everyone will enjoy. Need a healthy way to start your child's day? You need Sugar Bomb's breakfast cereal with the explosive taste kids crave.
There are many ambushes here. You can get ambushed by a group of ferals. By a pack of wild mongrels. Or you could get ambushed by a group of super mutants. You can find a former Brotherhood of Steel soldier named the Scribe.
You look like someone that appreciates the utility of a good set of armor.
You just wander around selling armor to random people?
Traveling's a good way to meet new people, as well as finding the lost, the broken, and the unusual. When I get tired of traveling, I settle down again for a while. But I'm in a wandering phase at the moment. So, were you interested in trading or not?
Sure. I'm always looking for good armor.
My selection is a bit limited right now, but take a look.
If you have high enough charisma, and if you have claimed enough settlements for the Minutemen, and if those settlements have high enough happiness, you unlock the ability to recruit the Scribe as a unique settler for your settlements, whom you can then turn into a Tier 4 armor merchant. He has unique inventory and can even sell legendary items. He's not the only one, by the way. We're going to meet one other in this video. I did an entire video dedicated to the Tier 4 merchants that you can recruit to your settlements, which you can watch here if you're interested.
What's your story?
I was once a scribe in the Brotherhood of Steel. Back when that was something to be proud of. Back when we used our knowledge to help people, rather than simply hoarding it for our own power. When Squire Maxson took over, well, I didn't like the changes he made to the Brotherhood. Some said it was a return to our ancient traditions. Maybe so. But things are not necessarily better simply because they're ancient. So I left. Since then, I've been walking up and down in the world until I found myself here.
You can find a lone Protectron walking around advertising Watts Electronics.
Hello, intelligent and informed consumer. Please take a flyer and stop by Watts Electronics for all your electronics and household appliance needs. As a Watts robot, I am guaranteed to continue functioning well beyond the factory warranty of 100 years. Unlike robots from other stores, I'm talking about Hester's Robotics. Please, only one flyer per customer. Limited printing is how we keep costs down, and we pass those savings on to you, customer. Looking for a replacement Fusion Core at discount prices? Shop Watts Electronics.
You can find a man named Smiling Larry walking around with his personal Aimbot and some mercenaries.
You look like someone who wants to do some trading.
What are you doing out here?
People want something. Smiling Larry finds it, brings it to him. The whole Commonwealth knows me. Now, what about doing some trading?
Let's see what you've got.
Smiling Larry always has something you need.
Smiling Larry is another settler whom you can recruit to your settlements if you have high enough charisma and qualifying settlements. He can become a level 4 weapon merchant with unique and even legendary inventory. You can also come across a man in an Institute jumpsuit named Timothy.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you happen to know the way to Bunker Hill?
Why do you need to go there?
I can't divulge my reasons, but I need to get there urgently.
I don't, but give me your caps anyway.
I am sorry, but I don't have enough to spare.
I don't.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time.
We don't know this now, but later on in the game, we'll learn that Timothy is actually an escaped synth. He's looking for Bunker Hill because he's trying to find the railroad. To learn the full story on this, check out my video on why the railroad is moral but flawed. You can watch it here. And there you go. After hours and hours and hours of replaying these random encounters over and over and over again, these are the encounters that I managed to capture on film. There may be some that I've missed, and I know that there are some that depend upon decisions that you make in the game and your level. But I just wanted to share these with you. There are a whole lot of other random encounter hotspots in the game, and if you like this video, I'm going to do a whole lot of more like these, exploring many of the other random encounters that you can find at different levels of the game and in different places. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I read all of your comments and I use them as inspiration for my future videos. I publish a new video every single day of the week, so please subscribe for more Fallout 4 content like this. If you'd like to chat with other like-minded individuals about this video and Fallout 4 in general, join the Oxhorn Community Discord server using the invitation link in the description below. And if you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But more than anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so glad that you're here watching this video today. Thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video.